Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a group of Republican candidates running for Kentucky governor face off in an intense debate. And if you experience damage from natural disasters in 2021, you could get help from the latest round of disaster assistance, now open for applications.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6 o'clock, bright and early here. I'm Dakota Makris. It's Tuesday. Good morning to you. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at that forecast. And luckily, Brandon, this morning, not much to talk about, so that's good.
Kind of cleared out the skies. I was actually watching the clouds clear out on my way in. Moon was out earlier. Now the sun's coming up. It's going to be a beautiful day. Let's take you over to US 119, US 23 at Jenkins, going into Southwest Virginia. Not a whole lot of traffic, not a whole lot going on over there here at 6 o'clock. We're going to continue to watch. Again, warmer temperatures than this time yesterday. I see 40 there in Middlesboro, so they might be trying to drop into the 30s on us there. Also have 41 Grundy and Logan, so we'll keep an eye on all three of those to see how that plays out for us. But 40 now, the cool spot in the region. 52 Jacksboro and Monticello, the warmest spots in the region this morning. Statewide, we basically have 40s. Region-wide, too. 43 across the river Cincinnati, 46 Knoxville, 46 Bowling Green, 49 Paducah, and Louisville. Those are two warmest spots in the region there this morning, and 47 in Nashville and the Tri-Cities. Today, heading up to about 60, but the difference from this morning, the clouds increase as we head deeper into the day, and rain chances on the horizon, but spotty chances today and tonight. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. With Kentucky's primary election 2 weeks away, 5 of the 12 names appearing on the Republican ballot for governor faced off in a statewide forum last night. It was a very interesting 90 minutes on KET. Daniel Cameron, Kelly Craft, Eric Dieters, Alan Keck, and Ryan Quarles were all invited. It was the first time the two frontrunners, Craft and Cameron, were on the same stage. Topic ranged from Medicaid to how they would have handled COVID to gun control. The candidates were read a Fox News poll saying more than 80% of voters favor background checks, requiring mental health checks, and a waiting period while buying a gun. They were then asked point blank where they stand on any kind of gun legislation, and that includes the law that allows weapons used in murders to be auctioned off.
I'm not touching the Second Amendment and due process. We need to make certain that we follow the rules that are currently written, and we have to open the conversation of mental health, of mental illness.
I think that the Second Amendment should be respected. Our due process rights should be respected as well. But the household I grew up in is like countless other Kentuckians, where I was proud that my dad taught me how to shoot a gun. Bought him one for Christmas this past year for personal protection.
I do think we have an olive branch on murder weapons. I think it's insane that those are being sold to the highest bidder. That should not be a showpiece. It's a murder weapon, and I can't imagine that grieving family knowing that that gun is going to somebody else's mantle.
I don't support any sort of gun control. Second Amendment is sacrosanct, and we need to make sure that we protect it for Kentuckians all across the Commonwealth.
I think that I stand with Kentuckians across the state, that I am sick and tired of the gun violence that happens, where the violence comes from those shooting and the people that are being shot are not armed.
Shortly after that exchange, the forum went off the rails for a bit with accusations regarding fundraising, ethics, and candidates under investigation. Things also got heated during a discussion about supporting law enforcement. Kelly Craft saying Daniel Cameron does not have confidence in the Louisville Metro Police Department, referring to the U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland's investigation into civil rights violations related to the Breonna Taylor case. Eric Dieters called out all the candidates for not supporting former President Donald Trump and said he still believes Trump won the 2020 election. Here is just a bit of the exchange that went on for several minutes.
Let's talk about the Attorney General appreciating Merrick Garland coming into Louisville, this woke DOJ, allowing Merrick Garland by saying, I appreciate him being here. I appreciate the fact that he's going to now oversee the Louisville Metro Police Department. What does that say about backing the blue?
Kelly's been sitting with law enforcement and has got one to openly and publicly support her. I've got over 100 law enforcement officials that have supported and endorsed this campaign for governor. I'm going to continue to fight for them, whether Kelly Craft spends $10 million attacking me or not.
Do you believe that President Trump won the 2020 election?
Absolutely. I'm the only person on this stage who says they stole it.
But
I've not been silent for 4 years. I've been leading a community in Kentucky talking about Kentucky issues. Look,
Not defending Trump.
We can fight over Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell all we want. I look for a day when we don't wait for crumbs from Washington to come and save us. You know, quite honestly, the last 10 minutes are why people are sick of politics in America.
But the answer to the question is yes or no.
President Biden's our president.
Did President Biden win the election fair and square?
I know that Donald Trump won big in Kentucky, and that I think that there's reason to question some of the things that we saw in various cities around the United States.
Well, and the spars between the candidates started well before the back and forth you saw there. Yesterday, candidate Eric Deters filed a lawsuit challenging Kelly Craft's residency, claiming she does not meet the Kentucky citizenship requirements to be governor, saying she's legally a resident of Oklahoma. Craft denies this, saying she was born, raised, and went to school in Kentucky and was vetted by federal officials as a Kentucky resident. Meanwhile, Gray Television will host the Kentucky debate next Monday, May 8th. It will be at Transylvania University at 7. WKYT is still awaiting confirmation from some of the candidates who were invited, but you'll be able to see it right here on WYMT. The primary election is May 16th. Applications are now open for a new round of disaster assistance. Cities, counties, and nonprofits affected by 2021's flooding and 2021's tornado outbreak are eligible. $123 million is available in total. Governor Andy Beshear says funding will help build an estimated 600 homes. Some flood survivors are still finding creative ways around damage to their property that is being repaired. Over in Letcher County, Lisa Isaacs was trapped after the flood tore apart her bridge, so she had to use a wire and a basket for people to give her groceries before she installed a steel beam to walk across. She says she had to get creative to survive.
People would drop stuff off and I could pull the rope. We'd just shuttle it back and forth. And one of my friends let me borrow a little cloth wagon, so I pull the wagon over, get supplies, and take it back.
While she gets another bridge built that will connect her home to the highway, she hopes her family can move back and they can be reunited. Mind-Made Adventure Park is one of Knott County's largest source of revenue, but with flood survivors still living at the park's campground, you might wonder if that will impact tourism for the area. Our Alyssa Williams checked in with county officials and those living at the park to learn more.
The Knott County Spring Horse Trail Ride is expected to bring in hundreds of people to Mind-Made Adventure Park for the 3-day event.
Hopefully 1,800, 2,000 by the end of the week. So a lot of folks I see still coming in. Campers is coming as we speak, and we expect a pretty good crowd.
As people are coming to visit the park, more than 20 flood survivors are still living on the property. People like Brenda Sisevsky.
Campers are nice, but it's not like living in your own home.
With the trail ride and other events taking place at the park this year, Knott County Judge Executive Jeff Dobson says the flood survivors will not be negatively impacting tourism in any way.
Obviously in some sites that will be rented out once those campers are removed. But hey, the state, they added a lot of sites when they came in. That's going to boost our tourism impact to the county for many years to come.
Dobson says the local long-term recovery group is working to meet the needs of flood survivors, all while events are continuing to take place at the park.
You know, we're going to move forward with events and things in the future, and hey, maybe bring some excitement and encouragement to those folks that have been down and out and dealt with a rocky road over the last 7 or 8 months.
Continuing to provide a space of solace for flood survivors while offering entertainment for all. In Knott County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the judge executive says since last summer's flood, survivors had had the opportunity to attend different events at the adventure park for free. After the death of police officer and canine handler Jacob Chaffins, a new canine has joined the Prestonsburg Police Department. The department received the dog, whose name is Secret, through the Iron Canine LLC. It's a group that trains and donates working dogs. Canine Secret is a Dutch Shepherd who came to Prestonsburg back in October, and now she's ready to begin duty.
Coming up on 610 here this morning, we continue to track just some cooler temperatures out there. Really not much going on other than that. We're seeing temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning. Watching Middlesboro pretty close there. Grundy and Logan too, 40 and 41 respectively in those locations. On the other end of the scale, we've got 52 Monticello, Jacksboro, and then you've got 48 in Somerset this morning and Harlan as well. So we're keeping an eye on all those temperatures. A few degrees warmer in most locations from this time yesterday, but 7 degrees colder Middlesboro this morning and 2 degrees colder Logan, Somerset, Richmond, and 1 degree colder in London from this morning, from yesterday morning. So the First Alert weather app's going to take us up to about 60 today. It's not a heat wave by any means. Sunshine early mixed with a few clouds, more clouds late, and stray rain chances as a weak disturbance moves in tonight in our region. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. It's 6:10. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, Florida's restrictive abortion laws cause concern among doctors and families who believe the procedure could be life-saving. Stay with us. That's on the way.